Hello, welcome to episode 125 of Ring Takes here. We're going to be having a very, very special guest, Sonny the Man Eagle Cain from Wrestling Spotlight, on our show this week as we recap TNA Bound for Glory. Lewis was in attendance, so we're going to get firsthand account recap from him, and we saw a couple of matches, me and Brian. We're also going to go over Crown Jewel, the spectacle in Perth, Australia this weekend, and talk about Raw this past week, which had some shocking developments, as well as taking a look at AEW Wrestle Dream, which will take place this weekend as well. So, big jam-packed show. Join us. Oh, that's not it. There we go.
1, 2. Oh my gosh, so close. He kicked out. He kicked out. He kicked.
Welcome to Ring Takes episode 125. We are all here, Brian and Lewis, but we also have a special guest, Sonny the Man Eagle Cain, joining us from Wrestle Spotlight. Two-time Wrestling Spotlight champion, Sonny Cain. I should mention that as well, as he's recently just picked up that hardware, not too recently. But big wrestling weekend. A lot of shows taking place. But first, let's start off with TNA Bound for Glory, the Dudley's farewell. Lewis was in attendance for this one, out there in Lowell this past weekend. Lewis, what can you tell us about the event, TNA Bound for Glory, and the action that went down?
Great show. I didn't catch the entirety because of timing issues.
Mm-hmm.
I think we thought doors opened at 7. But no, apparently the show started at 7 because we were like, oh, maybe the main car won't start till 8. You know, we got time to eat. And I was like, oh no, this starts at 7. And I was like, we were in Boston, had to drive all the way to Lowell, so
yeah, that's
it was. And even worse, every lot or garage that they had there was full, so I had to like drive around just to find parking. But managed, picked up a shirt. There was a lot of people there. I mean, like they said, the attendance record was like 7,000 people. So I got there right at the gauntlet match, the collar shot. Yeah. So which, you know, had that really, you know, I see Dolph or Nick Nemeth, Frankie, was it Frankie Kazarian?
Yes.
Yep. You know, the ending to that, and you know, both falling out at the same time, and you know that was, everybody was kind of like not feeling that. I don't know, that finish right there. I thought they would have just given them another little spot, you know, fight for that.
John Cena, Batista, Royal Rumble type.
Exactly. Nobody came out and tore both their meniscus
quads,
or whatever.
Had Santino come out.
Exactly. But then the Kalani George match was great.
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, so that was a great match. Kalani Jordan looked great. I honestly thought Indy was going to pick up the win. The crowd was behind her. I was behind her. I know she's been a Knockouts champion before, but Kalani Jordan's also really good too. And I think she was she's still doing good. That hardcore war match was crazy. I don't know all of the people in it, but obviously the one spot, because I was with somebody who's more of an older, you know, Attitude Era wrestling fan, and we saw the spot where the dude getting cheese grated, and he was just like drenched in blood, and he was like, Jesus Christ, I haven't seen anybody bleed that much in forever. I was like, oh, that's like a thing now.
I don't know why anybody signs up for that.
I don't know how you prepare for something like that, or just used to it. I guess I don't know.
Okay, sorry to cut you off, though. So that individual must not watch AEW then.
No, he watches. So he watches. He doesn't watch WWE consistently. I know he's watched some NXT stuff. You know, he said he was a fan of like Asuka and stuff like that. So he's aware of some of the people, but he's not up to date. That was the main reason he wanted to go, was just to see the Hardys, obviously, because, you know, the end of an era, you know. But I told him, like, obviously the Hardys are still going strong. And then this match, obviously, this was the match that everybody wanted to see. got some good pictures, close-ups of the Dudleys and Hardys.
Sweet. Mm-hmm.
And obviously that spot is just like being back in the 90s. See Jeff on top of a damn ladder again, jumping on somebody on the fucking table. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little. I think I was a little shocked with how fast some of those spots came. At least like the 3D through the table, and then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand the circumstances of this match because for me, a tables match is first one through the table, you win. And the first thing that happened the first minute of the match is Jeff Hardy through a damn table. I'm like,
I mean, it was similar to the tables match that they had in 2000, where it was like both guys got to go through the table. They literally the Rumble in 2000. The rules were pretty much what that match.
But is it like one has to be through a table and then the other one, and that's how you win? Like they're both in the table kind of at the same time. So I was just a little confused by that, but I was a little worried going into that match with just like the shape the Dudleys were going to be in. I'm like, Matt and Jeff are, they're still active. They're over here, carrying 3 titles right now. So, they're actively in the ring, and I was a little worried how Devon and Bubba were going to go. Obviously, Bubba's had a couple spots here and there.
Yeah.
NXT. Obviously, he didn't do a lot of crazy stuff. Obviously they hit, the Wazam.
He's done some stuff with TNA recently as well, like in the past couple of years too. So he's been a little bit more active.
Yeah, he also had that match with, was it Trick or was it Javon?
Yeah, it was a tag team match. I forget who he teamed up with, but
I feel like it was Trick Williams.
It could have been Trick. I think it was him and Trick against.
Was that when they went back to Philly?
I think so.
That's when they were in the old ECW arena.
It kind of, so their match, like I said, everybody was really pumped for that. A bit of a short match, but obviously, it was still, the highlight spots. Hardys look great. Obviously a very sentimental, emotional moment at the end with, the Dudleys. This was literally their retirement match, and I feel like, not everybody gets to have that where they actually, leave their boots in the ring and give them to the Hardys, especially, just like all the history was a great moment to see and a great moment to be there. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to make it to this event, but I'm glad I did. I'm still amazed that Matt Hardy can move the way he does with the way his legs are.
You're surprised any of these guys can still move.
I don't care. Jeff Hardy has
one of those guys.
Jeff Hardy has the fountain of youth. I don't know what he does, but he has it. And then, like we were talking beforehand, for me, the match of the night was definitely that Javon Evans and what's his name again?
Leon Slater.
Like that match was great. Both of these guys are, Javon's like 23 or younger, honestly.
Javon is 21. I think Leon Slater might be the same age, or 22, 23 at least.
And they have very similar styles. Fast, hard hitting, very athletic, up in the air.
I guess we could say Leon Slater is TNA's Javon Evans.
That's what I was going to say. That's literally what I was going to say. They literally, position-wise, they mirror each other for their respective companies. So it's crazy.
And even telling my friend who I was there with, I was like, dude, like just tell him a little bit of backstory. I'm like, these guys, they're young, fast, like they're high flying. Even just explaining some of the moves, like Javon's like off the top rope cutter, which is like an RKO. I was like, dude, that move is like amazing.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a damn winner, but of course, the worst ending. How do you go from the best match to the worst ending of the night, which is Dark State? And I'm sorry, and I've said this a couple of weeks ago that I am not a fan of Dark State at all. They just they feel too much like a Shield 2.0 with no Shield.
There's no direction. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no substance
with path. There's no path. There's no characters. Yeah. There's probably one character that Brian Brian likes, but
because he's the only one that makes them interesting. Like literally, if you take Saquon Sugars away from this group literally is worse than what they perceived right now. Like literally, he's the only interesting character. The other three are generic as hell. They're just big guys who are former athletes. Like Saquon Sugars actually had time on the independents for a little bit. Like he's actually portraying like honestly, what a professional wrestler is.
Honestly, I think it's probably a weird observation, but I think that the fact that they have like 4 is probably like too much. Like it probably would have made more sense to literally go with 3 and add somebody later on, but I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to be different. But again, yeah, that should have been the match of the night right there. I did not catch the very ending with the Trick Williams and Santana just because I had to leave and had to go be a parent and pick up my son. So, either way, I would have been there the whole night. But
had to have been adult.
Yeah, I will say though, and it sucks because I was actually looking forward to that match, but it also sucks because in the crowd, you saw that you felt that there was a lot of people there just for the Dudley Hardy's match, and then you're like everybody's like, oh, okay, that's not what I came to see. All right, bye. But I think also a lot of people were also I didn't realize that they were doing their like meet and greet after the show. Because when I was heading out, there was a huge line going on the front. And I'm like, what are all these people lined up for? Like, you already got your merch and food or whatever. And then it was like, they're there for their signing, which I think Ryan, who we've had on here, said he might have done. So, I saw some people, there were belts and stuff, probably getting ready to get signed and stuff. But all in all, great show to be in. I like the smaller venue. I think it's more honed in. You get there probably were some spots where you probably didn't have the best view because there's like if you think like at the Garden, it's like floor seats, lodge, and then obviously you got balcony. This is like all lodge, and I think Dan, you were there at that.
Yeah. If you're not, I had good. Even though I was towards the back, I had good view of the ring. Like I could still see everything and see the.
There was only probably some spots where there was like some monitors or some bearings where I was just like, oh, it sucked if you're sitting there because you can't really see shit. But we had good seats and it was a great show.
That's awesome. Awesome to see Santana bring TNA back to glory, right?
There was a huge Puerto Rican. Like as soon as he was walking out, you saw the Puerto Rican flag going crazy. I was like, I know he's gonna win this match and they're gonna go nuts.
Conan was there as well.
Yeah, Conan came out for his entrance.
Yep. I could not remember Conan's name. I was like, I know who that is. Recently. And I'm like,
how you forget Conan?
I don't know. I was having the biggest brain fart. And I'm like, dude, you know who this dude is because he's from the 90s. He's like, well, who are you talking about? I was like, finally I just got it. I was like, Conan. He's like, oh shit, that's Conan. I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Oh man. But it was a pretty good show from what I saw. TNA getting the world title, I think, is the most important thing. You know, the Dudleys obviously with their send off, their historic career, and to do it against the Hardys. And and everyone's kind of, there's been a couple of talks like, hey, you wonder if Edge and Christian were in that, or if they could have at least done that one more time and stuff like that. So, just to call back to the Attitude Era, the Dudleys have been wrestling since the mid '90s. And Devon, I thought he was done, and I know there were some injuries that he had and some surgeries that he's had that were going to keep him out of wrestling. But to get him to have this one last match, that was good. Good to see him out there and get that last send off, respectfully for his career and stuff like that. Able to get out in one well-being with Bubba, those guys leaving together, that was sentimental. But yeah, the X Division title match between Javon Evans and Leon Slater, like. That's, you know how they always said like how TNA early on, like with AJ Styles and all these other guys, like this is going to be the future of the cruiserweights and all them, all that stuff. Like those guys definitely, they're putting on a show. Like there's no better show than those two guys. But That was great. That was great for TNA to have that moment.
It really was. I mean, like you said, Daniel, that match with Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I mean, you could call it air up there. You can call it come fly with me, or you can call it touch the sky. Like, bro, these two dudes that took the aerial offense to another level, and I loved the spot where they're gonna do like the whole test of strength thing, and then Javon faked them out and hit them with an RKO.
Yeah, just like,
hit the cutter. This is done because the way the crowd reacted to it, it was perfect. If the match had ended that way, it would have been great. But the whole Dark State interfering, like I said, it really kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails. If you were, like I said off the air, if you were going to have Dark State get involved, it would have made more sense to do it after the end of the Dudleys and Hardys match, because at least then it would have killed that emotional moment. But at the same time, you would have seen that, like, okay, Dark State represents the future. Dudleys and Hardys are on their way. Dudleys are on their way out. Hardys still represent the Attitude Era. It would have made more sense to then have them come and attack to kind of like signify that, like, okay, this is our time now. You guys had your time. So definitely didn't like that. But other than that, it was a good show. I actually didn't start watching until the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, similar to you, Lewis. So I was trying to like figure out what else happened on the show. And then when they said I think Tessa Blanchard had a match, and then somebody else had a match, and it was just like, okay, so don't need to see all that.
And Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah. And like you said, Lewis, the hardcore war match. At first, I'm thinking like, okay, I've seen a lot because I'm watching AEW. I'm like, okay, I've seen a lot of these this year, so I already know where this is going. I'm thinking because, okay, this is TNA's main show, so if you're gonna do it, obviously do it here. Yeah. But again, because I've been watching so much damn AEW, I'm kind of like immune to all this hardcore shit now. That's just me though. But
yeah.
I will never be immune to it, Brian.
I know. We've seen so many damn, what was the when John Moxley had the damn barbecue spike things in his freaking forehead, or staples in their face, or
funny you say that. Penta did that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think same as Brian, I'm kind of used to the gore a bit, but it's funny being next to somebody who's like, I haven't seen somebody bleed that much in forever. I'm like, that's a regular thing on AEW. I'm like,
it's like every week.
Or just remembering like Stone Cold like bleeding like but it's like
97. But great from TNA Bound for Glory. Glad, Lewis, you got to go and see that venue, because that venue was smaller, more condensed, but then everything's more. You feel everything. Yeah. You definitely feel everything being in there. I'll say that much.
Yeah. All right. So, question, Sonny, did you watch the show? And if you didn't watch the show, what are your thoughts on like TNA overall?
Mm-hmm. I saw enough highlights to discuss the show. I was real pleased about Jeff Hardy's involvement with the Dudleys. I've known Jeff since he started in wrestling. Mm-hmm. In 1992, we met in the Mid-Atlantic, headed up by Joe Wheeler. At the time, Joe Wheeler is still a big deal in the Mid-Atlantic region as a announcer and commentator, so forth. Jeff has never, to my knowledge, cried in the ring like he cried at the closing of the match with the Dudleys. He's just very to himself. He's not anti-friendly, guys. He's just not a social bug. And to see him show that kind of emotion was raw emotion. As for hardcore matches, they come in to kind of break up the tension in the room, so to speak, and to make people a little bit more relaxed during the show. I was real pleased with Matt Hardy's performance in the ring as Jeff's longtime tag team partner. Also, been knowing Matt forever, it seems like. The only reason I haven't seen him since 2016 is because of life. He's been out touring and got his weight down, and they got picked back up again. But I would like to say that a year and a half ago, when I started with Gerald Bentley, I predicted a major return for the Hardy Boys, and I was spot on in calling it. And I've done that a few times on Gerald's show, and Gerald's got a little bit more faith than me now in my predictions. After Australia, I called that show straight down the middle pretty much, and was surprised by my own self at how I called it. TNA is really hopping along. I like the crossover into NXT very much. I hope they don't knock each other out in the process to the point that they don't want to work together. What I think they're trying to do, fellas, is they are trying to bring in more ring veterans to go ahead and tune up these younger guys and get them ready to go into Raw and into SmackDown. You can have all the experience you want, but Shawn Michaels is just not in physical shape enough at this point in his life and career to get in the ring, and neither really is Triple H. So what a promotion will do is they'll bring in an older guy, 45, 50, my age, 56, and they'll say, work this kid, this young buck, and get him ready to go. And that's the job of the guy, of the older guy that comes in that's been around longer. I like the women involvement. I'm a huge fan of women in wrestling. Always have been, always will be. I think the women right now are kicking more than the men by a little bit. That's just me. From all the film that I watch during the week, I watch 5 shows a week to do these things, and the women on every show are just standing up. I mean, it's like clockwork. But TNA has it together. I hope they can survive in the crossover. Sometimes when leagues crossover, a league will shut down to let the other league take over. And I hope that's not the case here, because I'd like to see some more TNA stuff. You got Victoria doing her thing from TNA. You got Monroe doing her thing. And that's what it's about. It's about getting in there, mixing it up, and just making it work. So
I think that was a good point that you brought up, to say that that's why the collaboration with TNA is happening, because we've been talking about NXT not having the roster at certain points for the men and women to go up against. Like, it's kind of lacking at certain points outside of Obafemi, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, who they just added in the women's division, is JC Jane and a bunch of women. They brought in Jordan Grace from TNA and stuff like that. So now there's a lot of bit more of cross promotion. You got Kalani Jordan going up against Indy Hartwell, who's also in NXT. I guess you can say TNA is NXT's. They get the cast offs.
Ordinarily be seeing here locally, and that's like the WWF did with WCW when Bret the Hitman Hart came down, the British Bulldog came down. Hulk Hogan was rumored to be coming down. That never happened. I was told later that it was a money deal arrangement, so he stayed up north.
Of course it was.
Always wanted to meet Terry, and just never got to get around him. A friend of mine said it costs like $300 to beat some of the stars. I said you should have paid the $300 and met them. So I mean, in my day it wasn't like that. In my day, they came over, they talked, they interacted. It's about money now, guys. A lot more than back in my day. In my day, if they liked you, heck, they went to your house. That's what Flair did to my grandfather. My grandfather was astounded that I bought in Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and Santa both at the dinner table. So, I said, well, here, ask him anything you want to ask him. But times have changed. John Moxley, what can you say about John Moxley, Brian, that hasn't been said? I think he is the greatest going heel in the industry today. He makes you hate him. He makes you like him. He ties you up in a knot. And that's the job of the wrestler worker. It's to keep your mouth talking about them any way they can. Over the 33 years that I've done the wrestling business, guys, I didn't like the haters in the very beginning, say prior to 1992 when I started, but I've come to realize that even the haters help you too, because they keep talking about you. You know you're somebody when people are talking about you. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. And I'm about to get a write-up down here. I'll be highlighting you guys in the Goldsboro News Argus. I was telling Dan about this last week. and I will be focusing on the 2 title wins I got on Wrestling Spotlight in a year's time, back-to-back wins. So I wasn't expecting that, and that's what you do. The business just keeps growing. I think
Yes.
AEW is a grand promotion. I did not understand Gerald Bentley's fascination with it at the time when I first started watching things, but now that I've watched it for a year and a half, I've come to know the characters and what they do. And to me, AEW, Brian and Lewis, is as good as World Class Championship Wrestling back in the day. It's a very similar promotion. It's what I call kind of a mid-card level promotion, trying to be a bigger promotion. I think they will get there. Maybe Tony Khan would disagree with that and say they're already there, but I think they've got a little work to do, Daniel. And it's about your writers. It's never going to be, from my perspective, as having been in the ring, it's never going to be the wrestler's fault. It's always going to be on the writers. They're the ones that sit back and come up with things in your bigger league.
Yep. But we'll get into AEW down the line here as we'll talk about Wrestle Dream in a little bit. But let's get into another piece of action here this weekend with Crown Jewel. Our Crown Jewel recap that happened in Perth, Australia this weekend. That's not the one I wanted. That happened this weekend. Lots of great matches on the show. WWE trying to make up for WrestlePalooza. I hope they did with this show. It was pretty good from my standpoint, but let's get into the first match there that happened. Bronson Reed with a big-time win over Roman Reigns there. Me and Lewis, I think we all picked Bronson. Oh, no, Lewis, you picked Roman Reigns on that one.
I did? Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. You said he doesn't lose on the PLEs, were your words. But Big Bronson Reed did pick up the win. What did you guys think about that match? Coming together with the Usos coming out, the Vision, Braun Breaker also coming out. What did you guys think of this matchup?
Same thing we've seen the past couple. I'm joking.
Lewis, they're going to be doing this song and dance.
Well, according to Roman, we're not going to see him till Christmas, so so I don't think we're going to see that specific dance for a little while. So, but as far, I mean, match was great. I'm happy that Bronson got the win. I was a little shocked that he did because just with the history of people wrestling in their home countries and winning doesn't happen very often.
Apparently, WWE just forgot about it on this night. But continue.
Maybe it's a thing with Australia. Maybe it's the time zone difference. I don't know because Rio won too. It was a good match. I mean, I feel like we've seen this. Two guys going in, then the other people get involved. We saw Braun Breaker get involved. We saw the Usos get involved. Again, more pieces to this puzzle that I don't know where it's really going. If Roman's not going to be here till Christmas, I guess he's out of War Games. So who knows who's actually going to really be in War Games, especially after things that happen on Monday, which we'll probably get into later. But good match. And, I mean, always great to see Roman, but happy that Bronson got the win.
Yep, same here, Lewis. To echo your sentiments, yeah, it was great to see Bronson Reed get the win here. I think right after Michael Cole had said a stat that I think he's the second person to pin Roman Reigns in a one-on-one match in like forever. So
like 2 years or something, or
2 or 3 years or something, which is a humongous stat, which actually shows how strong that Roman was booked in the last 4 years. I mean, it was a great match. I'm glad finally Bronson Reed, finally gets that signature win, and like you said with the events that transpired on Monday Night Raw. We can only assume that that win is going to be the beginning of something special now with both him and Braun Breaker as top guys on the show. The Usos involvement was very interesting. having Jay essentially cost Roman the match, and then
speared him to the table.
Yeah, put them through the table, and then them to have that conversation in the ring afterwards, and then essentially in a way Jay kind of like moving back from Roman, saying all he does is care about himself and stuff, and it's just like, dude, it's funny because it's just like, dude, you were slowly turning into him, so now you're finally realizing that, like,
flip and flop. What do you want to do, man?
Yeah. You want to be him or not? Because first you're acting like him, and then he shows his true colors again, and now you're surprised. So it was kind of funny to see that. But like I said, hell of a match. Glad to see Bronson Reed finally get that signature win. Like I said, Lewis, I know he's been a guy for you that you wanted to see pushed as a monster heel on the main roster, and now we see that they're going in that direction, and that's great.
What did you think about the match, Sonny?
I was, as usual, a little surprised at the outcome with Bronson Reed, but the big guys usually can't go over 20 minutes in the match because due to their size. I think Lewis, where this is going is Roman is trying to retire at this point. He's trying to step away from the business. I actually caught an interview on The Real with him just this morning. He wants to make Jay Uso the tribal chief. He thinks Jay's the up-and-coming next in line for the tribal chief, and he's trying to step away. He said, in his own words, not mine, Roman said the injuries are taking too long to heal. He can't do the spear anymore as well as he used to, and he's trying to step back. Roman Reigns was a product of Vince McMahon, and Jey Uso is a product of Triple H, is the way they presented it on the interview when Roman was talking. And that's what it takes. It takes a little time to tell the story of backing away and passing the legacy on to someone else. And I think that's what we're going to end up seeing here. I am surprised at Braun Breaker's success at this point in time and how he's been able to balance going from a mid-card level guy to a main eventer and to be used so much in the main
he's
event. He's
literally everywhere.
I'm just pretty surprised that they've allowed him to be blown out of the cannon that way. And that's about what it is. Penta's kind of the same way. He's exploded onto the scene too. And I hope they don't overshoot and they're trying to get to where they're going. That's my fear. Sometimes you work a guy back to back, day after day, 250 days a year, they get hurt quicker and they can't keep up the momentum. So I myself took a lot of aspirin back in the day doing it. So I hear a lot of guys drink now, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I think that's the WWE has put those guys in NXT. They brought Bronson Reed back. I think they've seen the work rate of those guys to trust them to put on this workload. And I think WWE is trying to capitalize on putting the rocket ship, per se, on those two guys right now, especially with the events that happen on Raw. We'll talk about that a little later. But I think they trust Braun Breaker in those moments because he's literally in every segment, whether he's talking backstage, him and Bronson too. I feel like both those guys are getting the shine right now, whether it's talking backstage, whether it's in the mid-card match, the main event. They've been able to do it all. And the fact that they're getting that much, I think WWE really trusts those guys to get it done. But as for the match, I thought the match was great. As you guys said, I'm glad Bronson Reed got the win, get that shine, because he's kind of been on the losing end of that. And we've kind of been saying in this whole Vision group, Braun Breaker has been able to stand out. Obviously, Seth Rollins is the champion, but Bronson Reed hasn't really had that moment. This was that moment for him. So for him to get that point, get that win against Roman Reigns like that was a big win. And kudos to him. Kudos for everybody involved. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we're giving it up. I think
we're all witnessing the dawn of a new era, guys, where your Bronson Reed and your Braun Breaker and your Logan Paul and your Penta. I think these are going to be the guys in 4 to 5 years who are going to be in the mega shows, the pay-per-views, and it's going to be their day. And
kind of the new generation.
and the Saturday new generation. And Logan Paul's in a little bit of legal trouble right now, if I understood it right. When I read it, he bought a Michael Jordan autograph that he shouldn't have bought. It's my understanding of things. So,
damn, Logan.
They killed $5 Michael Jordan autograph, apparently. So.
Memorabilia, that's not great. But yeah, I thought this match was great. Let's keep moving on to the next bit of business here. But those guys, obviously Bronson Reed, those guys are going to be the new generation. Those guys are big. They can move, as Sonny pointed out. They can go 20 minutes. They can carry a match. They can do multiple things in the ring. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Is it too soon to talk about Bronson Reed or Brian Breaker turning on Seth Rollins?
Yeah, we're going to get into that after. That's when we get into Raw a little bit there. So that's a little bit down the road. Yeah, we're going to get that into a little bit. But let's keep moving on to our next match. We got Rio. I guess that's the new name. Picking up the win over the Kabuki Warriors. A great match for these two. I thought the outcome would be different, but apparently not. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are going to reign supreme forever, apparently, over the Kabuki Warriors. But what did you guys think about this match? In Rhea's hometown, I did not expect this to happen like this. But what did you guys think about the match?
Yeah, that's an understatement. I didn't expect this finish at all either. And the way that the match was booked, I mean, they really kind of played to the fact that like they were in essentially Rhea's hometown, because she didn't get into the match until the very tail end. They really were literally building up to the hot tag. Just waiting for the crowd to just erupt when she entered the match, and that's exactly what happened. I had sent a link to the chat in regards to the interview that Chris Van Vliet did with Io Sky today. It's a hell of an interview.
Yeah,
Io's English is very, very good. It's a very nice listen. Just to hear her talk about like her whole career and everything, and it's a great listen. And she was tremendous in this match. I mean, those two women right there really are the best of the best of their roster right now. And it was a hell of a match. I mean, at first I was kind of taken aback by the finish. But then when you really look at it, I mean, look who got pinned. And then you saw what happened on Monday Night Raw as a result. So that kind of definitely still playing to the whole, Asuka's the aggressor in this tandem with Kairi Sane. Would have loved to see them come out on top, but it was a very good match. So
yeah, I was very surprised that you got this new heel Kabuki Warriors, especially after that turn. I thought easily Asuka should have pulled out the mist to easily get a win at some point. Like she literally sprayed both Rhea and Io on different occasions. But I honestly think, like Brian said, it probably does have to. The whole point of them just being in Australia, it's Rhea. Rhea's a huge star, and it's funny because this isn't the usual pattern, when I saw Mercedes in a damn Hell in a Cell at the Garden, thinking like, oh, she's gonna win, and it doesn't happen. Or Sami Zayn in Toronto, hey, maybe this will finally be the chance. No. But now we're starting to get, oh, hey, we love these guys here. Let's just give them the win. You got Bronson, you got Rhea. So I don't know. I was expecting, obviously, like we said, we're going to get into Raw. This still spilled over into Raw. It's not a one and done, which honestly, after that, I feel like it kind of should be. But I don't really know where they're kind of going with this story. Like, is it, they're still fighting over the turn, or is it just like, are Rhea and Io just going to start going for the tag titles too, and maybe have a match with Charlotte and Alexa at some point? I don't know.
because I feel like the story doesn't end until like we get that one-on-one match with Io and Asuka, and Io like definitively like beats Asuka because the whole breakup started between those two. So until they like have like that match, and then Io comes out on top, that's when I feel like okay, there's no
that's why I feel like they. I mean, I think we all said like they should have definitely got the win because that will still, if they would have done some heelish things to win, it continues the story, which builds up more of like, look, Asuka's pulling out all these dirty tricks. Like she's literally like the centipede that's like on her face and everything. Like it would add more. But for them to just lose off riff, it's like
this decision
it brings the momentum down for me.
This decision pissed me off the most because what was the point of the heel turn?
Yeah.
What was the point of Asuka using the miss? Getting Carrie to actually agree with her to actually go against Io. What was the point? I understand Rhea in her hometown. She's bulletproof. A loss is not going to hurt her or Io at this point. It's not.
So I think it was just more catering to the crowd and where they were.
Yeah. But
like I said, they were thinking, they were thinking more along the lines of probably, this is gonna like add to this whole Asuka and Kairi Sane relationship maybe, and even though like you said, Daniel, it would have made more sense, for them to come out on top. Mm-hmm. It's just that. But after that segment we saw, don't you feel more strongly towards Kairi Sane now? Or are you guys like waiting for that time to come where she's gonna be like, I'm tired of her?
I think that was gonna grow into it, and I think I said last week that eventually maybe Asuka kicks her out, or maybe boots her or some way, and maybe that's how she pairs up with Io again, or whatever the case may be, and they try to patch their relationship on that end, and maybe somebody else comes in to help Asuka. But I don't know. I think where they're going with this, I'll say this. I think where they're going with this Rhea and Io situation is kind of I'm hoping this is what they do, is kind of like Batista and Rey Mysterio, where he turned on him when they lost the tag team titles or something like that, or they tried to regain the tag team titles and they kept losing. I think that's hopefully at the end where we get with this, because it's like Rhea Ripley, yep, she's great as a face, but I'm like, I feel like there's more there if she was a heel. And we haven't gotten that in a little while. So
yeah, we haven't had a heel Rhea in a long time. Probably since the beginning of Judgment Day.
This is Judgment Day, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while, and I think that's where ultimately this is going to go at some point, maybe down the line. It could be a year from now, whatever the planning or the booking that they're trying to do. But it's just like Asuka's kind of like the filler right now as the feud for Io and Rhea, I guess, at this point. Because all of these women are out of the title picture. Like none of these women are going currently after the title right now, so it's kind of weird to see them out of that element. But hopefully they all get a shot. That's I hope they all get back in the title picture and get a shot. Maybe build up the tag team women's division. Maybe that's something that they can do and actually follow through with. Yeah. But we'll see. Sonny, what did you think about the match and the outcome of Rhea and Io winning?
Rhea's is a worker that can play either side. And I think what I'd like to see is us break Cara from Asuka and get her separated and get on past this long storyline of the family breakup, and that Rhea and Io Sky go at it again for a world title match. I think that's what the fans are wanting to see. I think this little breakup family feud thing has gotten in the way of things, and I think it's gone on too long. I think we need to get to where we're going and move on from it at this point in time. But I'm a huge Rhea Ripley fan, so I'm almost in approval of anything she does.
She's bulletproof, and she's picking up I'm like, if this was any time for them to drop the win, with Asuka and Kairi turning heel just recently, a couple weeks ago, a month, not even a month, a couple weeks ago, to not get this win. Obviously, they're going to continue it, but it's just like I just felt like it was a missed opportunity for them. But that's the way it goes. But let's get into a classic match here. AJ Styles and John Cena putting on a great match. A throwback match, you can say, with all the callbacks that they had in this match. John Cena picking up the win in this one, but what did you guys think about this one of John Cena, AJ Styles, probably for the last time in Australia? The great crowd. AJ Styles bringing out the old trunks from TNA and stuff like that. Just a great match. But what did you guys make of it?
Slow clap.
No, we all need to give that match a standing ovation. Like that was I can't even find the other words to describe it, because I had to watch it back a second time, because that's how great it was. I mean, just the amount of the amount of callbacks and the reaction that it got on social media. The one like common theme that a lot of, whether it was Undertaker, Triple H, or some of these other guys who were commenting on it, they said that like the match was like a love letter to professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I really loved the ending of it, because the fact that John Cena used the tombstone, it was perfect, because with that win, now he's second all time in PLE matches, and who's number one? Undertaker. So I love the fact that the tombstone was used as a finish. And AJ Styles with the trunks, which I saw online, was actually not only just a callback to his TNA days, but apparently both him and John Cena were on the cover of a pro wrestling magazine back in 2005, and AJ Styles was wearing that gear on that magazine cover with John Cena when he was Doctor of Thugonomics. So I love that callback. I mean, these two guys really left it all out there. So many tributes to Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton.
The Miz.
Especially, I mean, I love the Bray Wyatt one too, because right after, then the crowd pulled out their phones and did the whole So that was tremendous. Yeah, but these two guys, they left it all out there. You can make a case right now. Me personally, the match that they had at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago was their best match in my opinion. But this match rivals that easily. I mean, these guys have been in the ring 4 times, and all 4 times they delivered. And it's like the fans wanted this match, they got it, and these two guys just went out there and they just over delivered. And it's matches like that. I think Michael Cole said it on commentary afterwards. Matches like that are the reason why people fall in love with professional wrestling, and that match was a clear definition of that.
Yeah, man, I loved every minute of this match. All the throwbacks, all the calls. Coquina clutches in there. Some
Sting, the Scorpion Deathlock.
So many things. It's just crazy to think that it's literally our era is just phasing out. There's only a few left. Yeah, you got the Miz, you got Randy, who else? Edge. But it's like these guys are all winding down. Still got Ray. Surprisingly, that man again.
You're gonna have one more match.
Youth. But it's just crazy. Like again, we're getting the end of Cena. AJ's finna retire next year, so it's just like to have this clash one last time was just great. I mean, I think we all kind of knew that AJ was going to win, but I am still someone who's rooting that AJ needs another title run before he leaves. I don't care. I don't care if it's either IC, US. It'd be great if it was a world title, but that man needs another title run. It looks like it might be another tag team run, but whatever. I would love to see, same as with Randy. I'm like, I would love to see another title run at some point with these guys.
Which, by the way,
we're not going to have them that much longer, but
Yes. Sorry to interrupt you, Lewis, but by the way, the AJ Styles did announce at the kickoff for Crown Jewel that 2026 is going to be his last year in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like you, Lewis, I really do hope he gets just one more final run. He's definitely earned it and deserved it. I mean, like I was talking to my godbrother earlier. I didn't realize, bro, AJ Styles has been in the WWE since 2016, which is crazy when you think about it. That the 10 years just went by just like that. It was crazy because he was a guy beforehand that you never thought was going to end up in the WWE. You thought he was going to be a TNA lifer forever. And now he
was the one guy from TNA that we always said he should be in WWE.
Yes,
it's kind of like MJF for AEW. Like he should be in WWE. He's the guy that would be easy to cross over.
10 years, man.
And it's funny because I didn't even see. I saw AJ Styles in TNA and I saw what he can do, and I was like, dude, this dude's amazing. And then obviously, then you start seeing online all the Bullet Club stuff. I was like, oh, it looks so cool. And then when he finally arrived, I was like, yo, how?
Yeah,
I was like,
remember that night too.
You know,
number 3 in the Rumble.
I do too.
Number 3 in the Rumble surprised everybody. I'm like, whoa, things might be changing backstage.
That was Triple H's NXT initiative, even though he didn't go to NXT, but it was that indie. It was the indie shine from NXT that gave him that shine. That gave him that chance. So, what did you think about the match, Sonny, with John Cena and AJ Styles for the last time?
And for a good long time too on Wrestling Spotlight, rivalry is the key to the better shows because the guys get in the ring, the men and the ladies, and they work each other. Brian and Lewis 4, 5, 6 times. They know each other. If you notice, guys, if you really want to be an analysis of the business, look at when they call the spots and the team and the groups that meet over twice. They call very few spots. They just go into the moves. You can tell when they're talking to each other nowadays. The cameras get so close up on them, but it's executing the moves and it's getting the moves played out in the ring the way they're supposed to be done. And in my day, we just called a match. These are the 3 moves. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to end it with the crossbody off the top turnbuckle. It wasn't sit down, guys, and go over 45 minutes of moves. And in this match, I don't think AJ Styles and the dude did that. I think they just had a good time. And that's what it's all about, having a good time. And John Cena's the best babyface in the business today, without a doubt.
No, he is.
Who's going to wrestle? I mean, who's going to be his last guy? I think it should be R-Truth. He and R-Truth have gone down the road a little bit. I think that'd be a great final that R-Truth gets a little bit of revenge on them or something of that nature. I disagree with how the promotion has handled John Cena's match tour. I think it could have been done different than it was. We saw him turn heel. We saw him turn baby again, that whole thing. And now here we are in the final stages of his farewell tour. And his last time is now. It's hard to believe he's been there that long. And he's the age he is. So, and again, even he says on the after show interviews, my body can't take this night after night. It's taken too long to heal. And that's where the realness comes into the business. But I was fascinated by the match, just an all-around good match.
I mean, he's putting on.
And I too would like to see AJ win something before he leaves. Yeah.
I mean, even though he's wearing down a little bit, he's still putting on 30-minute clashes. You know what I mean? Like,
he's leaving it all out there.
Especially from WrestlePalooza, where it was a 10
and I'll go out on the limb. I'm more than ready to see CM Punk win something. He's just gone week after week after week trying to climb the ladder again.
He might be in line sooner enough. But
more Contender.
To speak on John Cena, again, he's able to put on these 30-minute clashes after WrestlePalooza's 10-minute squash match to go out there with AJ. This is, again, a love letter to the fans, differently from fighting Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. And to see this move, again, the first thing I realized, how many yellow shirts were in the crowd?
Yeah, that too. I brought that up to my wife when we were watching it. Like, yo, bro, how many? How much John merchandise did he sell?
A couple kids, you might see a couple adults. It was almost like that whole arena had John Cena shirts on.
I'm like,
I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, did they give those out beforehand or did they buy them? Like, he's killing the merch. He's killing the merch. I've never seen that
merch
before.
Check is going to be very nice.
I've never seen that in my life. Like, that is crazy. Like, it was similar to the Austin 316 What shirts. Like, you used to see those all the time in the Austin 316 shirts. That's the first time I've seen that where a guy like that had all those shirts in the crowd. Maybe Hulkamania Hulk back in the day, all the way back. But this was insane, man. Like, yeah, I couldn't get over that. But this match was great. All the callbacks to the different wrestlers and the way to finish the match like that. And for those guys to put it together one more time, kudos to those guys, man. Kudos to John Cena and AJ Styles, no question. Kudos to those guys. Let's keep moving on here. We got a new women's crown jewel champion. Stephanie back here defeated Tiffany Stratton. I was upset at this. Mainly, again, I'm going to get into my reasoning, Lewis. Don't kill me yet.
I'm like, didn't we all pick her to win?
We did. I picked Tiffany Stratton. Again, I wanted to hit her.
After all the crap you gave about she's only the moonsault, that's all she is. Like she had nothing else besides that.
The match was great. The match was great.
Talking about what you said about Tiffany Stratton as a character and how her championship run has been lackluster because
it has.
Has any character development happened over the past 3 months, Lewis?
So then why are you picking her to win this?
Because this was an opportunity to turn her heel against one of the biggest baby faces.
Wait a minute. Character development. What fucking character?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That was my point. That's why I picked Tiffany Stratton, because I thought this was a moment, even though they did love her down in Australia, they do love her down there. But this was an opportunity for her to get a little bit more in her character. I guess the character is putting on great matches. I guess that's fine.
If this would have been somebody else, maybe. And you're right. It probably would have, if they were actually going to turn her heel, she should have done some heelish tactics to win. But I think Stephanie's just way too hot right now. And I think they're just striking while the iron's hot. They got the title on her, and then you got another. Obviously, she's not going to be wearing this title everywhere, but it's just another accolade to add under her belt.
It's like Queen of the Ring or Royal Rumble or something along those lines.
Yeah, as much as by Stratton all year long, I thought she all but her run-ins with Charlotte and how she mishandled Charlotte during their last interview together. I thought she did really a phenomenal job at holding on to the title and going against anybody and everybody and just proving it night after night after night or week after week after week. And she didn't back away from competition. And that's something I look for in people. And
that's something that I can say with her character. She has been able to face everybody. She hasn't backed down or showed any cowardice towards Jade Cargill or Nia Jax or Charlotte. She hasn't showed back down for them. So there's that. So no question there. Stephanie back here, I love the spinal tap from the top rope. Like she does that flawlessly. She can do it. She can do everything. She is very impressive. Continues her reign. I thought the match was great from them, both of them. This was a great performance from Tiffany Stratton as well. I just thought it was an opportunity for Tiffany Stratton to do something different. But obviously, Stephanie back here is the hot new thing. They've been putting the rocket ship on her back. She's been carrying it well. Interviews now, great matches. I think she's been doing a great job.
Yeah, but they also have to be very careful with her because as hard as she is, and the fact that like I said, like a month ago, she's a badass. She's great in the ring, and she's beautiful. But at the same time, they got to be sure that they don't Roman Reigns her. Like how Roman Reigns was booked in the very beginning, make her too dominant to the point where people are going to get tired.
I think
people like her too much right now.
I think
right now it's fun, but I'm just saying down the line, you keep doing too much of it, then people are going to start slowly getting tired of her winning.
I don't know if she's going to reach that territory, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is the thing. This is the thing. So I think that's how they're booking Tiffany Stratton. I think eventually that's going to wear thin. And that was my prediction when she cashed in and all that. With Stephanie back here, I think people have gotten into. She has good graces with her from CMLL, going to AEW for that moment, coming into WWE the way she did, her look, her persona, her matches in NXT. She comes up to WWE. She's building herself. I think it's different than Roman Reigns, right? Where Roman Reigns was just always thrusted into those moments and winning all the time, right?
Yeah.
With her, it's kind of a little bit more of it goes hand in hand with her booking. I think it's a little bit better, like a little bit more understandable. Like she actually goes through a different length of adversity. She hasn't really been pushed down our throats, even though she is getting the rocket ship. I feel like it's a little different in terms of booking. I don't think it's like EO and Rhea. Like people love them. There's nothing that they can do that's wrong. And I think she's falling into that category where it's like, I don't think people are going to get tired of her.
Yeah, as long as she keeps performing the way she's performing, and again, like it's another moment where it's like, yes, she probably is not cutting the best promos, but people still understand her, and her work just speaks for itself. It's the same thing with EO. It's like they don't need to be cutting these long promos like Becky or Rhea or whatever. They can say what they gotta say and just prove it in the ring.
I think it was in EO's interview with Chris Van Vliet that she said wrestling is a language. Like it doesn't have to have
a universal language.
Yeah. Like and I
if
think
they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, and everyone loves.
Still make money for it. So I mean, they're going to sell the ticket. They're still going to sell the PPV, and the worker that can make you not like them is worth more than the worker who makes you like them.
Because they get everybody else over.
It goes in it.
They get everybody else over, but
they tried me to heal in training camp, and I wouldn't do it. They wanted me to heal because of my face and my features and how I looked at the time. I was young and rugged looking, and went to the gym every day, kind of like I am now. And I said no to Helen. I said I wanted to be a baby. I wished I'd said okay to Helen because as I learned later of the business and eventually did heal, that's where the money's at.
It would have made your baby face run. It would have carried over. Eventually, they would have started liking you, right?
That same thing right now. He's kind of looking at both sides, wondering which way he had ought to go. So, I mean, it's always in front of you.
But yes, Stephanie Vac here picking up the women's crown jewel. She's going to be going on to some other things, it looks like, with the appearance on Raw. But we'll get to that in a moment. Let's continue with Seth Rollins finally overcoming Cody Rhodes in the men's crown jewel championship match, finally getting that win over Cody Rhodes in a fantastic match. Both these guys went at it, so Seth Rollins did not go 0-4 against Cody Rhodes. What did you guys think about this match from what you saw? And just the match overall.
I loved it. I called Seth Rollins in the very beginning last week on Gerald Bentley's Wrestling Spotlight. He said, "Are you that certain?" I said, "I surely am." I said, "Seth is distancing himself from Braun Breaker and from his partner." And I said, if he goes out there in a straight match, he'll be able to get it done. And sure enough, he was able to get it done. So probably one of my biggest call matches of the year was this match, and just had a good time watching it and seeing it actually turn out the way I ended up calling it.
So I just like the fact that we didn't get interference from the
yes.
that was so key, like, because I just wanted, like, okay, these two guys, because with the promo packages that we've got and kind of explaining the history between these guys, I just wanted them to just settle it just straight up, no interference, none of that stuff. Now, granted, Seth and granted, Seth did cheat to win, but the way he cheated was perfect because he used that damn watch that he's been staring at for the last 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw. That was poetic justice, so it's perfect. but
he did it on his own, and I can totally respect that. Somebody doing it on their own. In my professional opinion, that's what made Ric Flair so great. Was he didn't need the Horseman, he didn't need J.J. Dillon. He would actually go out there, even when he ran with them, and do individual fights on his own from time to time, and they'd go 40, 45, 50 minutes. And that's what makes a guy that much shinier and greater. So.
And I thought this was a great match from Seth. He needed this. We've been talking about his whole run with the Vision, like it's kind of running flat. It kind of needed direction. And I guess this crown jewel showed why it's important to have these type of moments, because this was the moment he needed. He needed a win against somebody who was credible. It's not a CM Punk who has been fighting. It's not a LA Knight. It's not a Jey Uso. it's somebody that he has a losing history with, right? Like he hasn't been able to beat Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody was great in this match as well. One of his better matches of late. And I just thought this match was great. All the spots that they were doing, the false finishes, and Seth getting this moment. I feel like Seth doesn't get enough credit, as many people don't like his heel or babyface runs at moments. He doesn't get a great rep for putting on great matches. I feel like he's underappreciated in that regard, even though he's done a lot of things. He's had the heist of the century, the 2 heists of the centuries. But I just think that he doesn't get enough credit for his performance in the ring. He's always going 100 miles per hour, always putting on great matches, always giving it his all. There's not really a bad match that I get from him coming out of this. So I just want to give his kudos for that, because it's like he doesn't get a credit for putting on those big monumental matches. Like everybody talks about his ring gear and the song when he comes out, and it's like he puts on great matches, and I don't feel like he gets enough credit for that. So, and this was another one that was in his performance. I just wonder where these two men go from here. We're going to get into Seth Rollins in a minute here, but I just wonder what happens with Cody Rhodes now, because now he's the guy going. Him and Tiffany, SmackDown both lost both of these, right? Like,
yeah, they did.
I'd like to say that I think the shock factor of that match, Dan, Brian, and Lewis, is as great as when my trainer, Ivan Koloff, my main trainer, even though I was trained some by Ricky Steamboat, lost his belt or took his belt from Bruno Sammartino back in the day. People were just in shock that Ivan had beaten Bruno. And that's how, and in my opinion, it's the same type shock when Seth beat Cody Rhodes. Not many expected it. I kind of suspected it because my time in, I said the previous ring interviews had gone top notch. And when you get to that level, things start to happen. And it's just a privilege to be here today to see this new era come into play of who the new players are going to be. And Seth Rollins, to me, is clearly going to be among the 5 new players of the face of tomorrow's wrestling. So, and his great saying, the visionary. I mean, how grand the saying is that everyone's got something. John Cena's got the last time is now and never give up. And the different guys have different things, but the visionary got my attention. And I said, either he's going to do it all, or he's going to have his foot stuck so far down his mouth he's not going to be able to speak anymore.
No, but he got it done. That's the thing. I think that's the thing that you got to appreciate with this win, is that he did it on his own. He was down 0-3. Like in the turnaround, to beat the guy that beat you 3 times, to get that credibility back. It might lead to his downfall that we're going to talk to in a minute, but it was great to see him get that win for sure. Crown Jewel was awesome. Let's keep moving on here too.
Okay, I just want to say one last thing about Crown Jewel as a total. I'm going to channel my inner Mike Lowry by saying this: the Triple H and the rest of the roster. Now that's how you book a show. That's how you book every PLE. Because remember, I talked about WrestlePalooza. We talked about WrestlePalooza, and we talked about the fact that all of us as fans are paying this $30 a month for ESPN.
Yeah.
We had talked about
not all of us.
Yeah, well, not all of us. The majority of us are paying that $30. So these PLEs need to hit. And that PLE is a prime example of what needs to be happening moving forward with this ESPN deal. Every PLE needs to be just like that, as good as that was. So,
and I think there's an advantage they have with Survivor Series being after Thanksgiving. There's a long time to put this story together, to book this thing and get it right before they head to War Games in San Diego. They have a little bit over a month now to book this thing correctly, rather than we've been talking about having these back-to-back PLEs and quickly and stuff like that. Now there's a little breathing room. So there is that. So that's something I'm going to be looking forward to as we head to Survivor Series and head to Saturday night's main event in December with John Cena's final match. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of more breathing room that they have here heading into these shows. So that's the one thing. But I agree, Brian. I think we all can agree. That's how you book a PLE. Was it the greatest PLE? No, I wouldn't say that. but was it a well booked, made sense? All the matches made sense. Hit, yes, and that's what us as wrestling fans are asking for.
Yeah, that damn show wasn't no C rating. I'll say that much.
I gotta give a shout out to the guys on Raw. The guys on Raw, seemingly, in my opinion, as a professional, have improved every week on their show storylines and their matches, and then trying to have positive outcomes on both sides of the fence, and that's hard to do. And Triple H, if you get the chance to watch Unreal, now being shown on Netflix, anybody, wrestling fans in the community especially, it goes behind the scenes, and they talk about how they're trying to improve based on the outlets they have now, ESPN and whatnot. And H even said that the younger talent calls him every day won't end, and now he's got somewhere to put them. He said that was the holdup for years. He didn't have places to put everybody, but he said now it's entirely different, and he can book people on NXT, Raw, SmackDown, ESPN, whatever, and everyone gets a shot at the pie. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see with that. But I think we're all just happy with Crown Jewel and the way it came out. It was on at 8 o'clock in the morning, which was different. So it will be in San Diego next time. So way better time difference. But let's keep moving the show on here. Let's get into Raw. Monday Night Raw, where we had a shocker. Seth Rollins in the Vision. Well, at least the Vision is still there, but Seth Rollins is no longer a part of that. Seth got on his high horse on Raw and started saying he didn't need anybody, which I thought was a little bit of a placate. And you saw Braun Breaker.
Yeah, you already saw it in the pudding once he said that line. You already saw Braun's face, and he's just like,
he said they didn't need them, but he said he did choose them. So I'm like, that's where he kind of cleaned it up for me, but it's probably like it was already too late. Obviously,
like, come on, like he wouldn't even have the title if it wasn't for them.
He got a little bit of out there and hot dogging and stuff like that. Bit him in the ass. I think this is all developing because there's been reports of Seth Rollins reportedly might be injured, which would really, 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 really suck.
Yeah.
They said he might have hurt his shoulder on that headbutt that he did to Cody Rhodes across the ring. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope he's okay.
Just to comment on that alone, it's very hard for me to believe that, because if he legit did hurt his shoulder and they still need to test it and stuff, why would they put him in harm's way by having Braun Breaker spear him and then
hit a splash on him as well?
If he was really hurt, then they wouldn't have put him in that predicament anyway. They would have found a way to creatively book it so he wouldn't have to get physical. Oh.
Well, Brian, sometimes the guys hit hard to push on, so it just depends. I mean,
that's true.
Not everything is scripted, and that's something I point out at every opportunity I get. They say work soft and work like a dance in the ring, and those guys go out there and they shoot. And when they shoot, that's usually when the guys get injured.
Yeah, and I think if he did get hurt on the if he didn't get hurt in the previous match, it's like maybe they could have pulled the audible there, but maybe they just were like, we're not going to do that. Just keep going through. Or maybe they didn't think it was as serious as they thought it was. So hopefully it's just interesting that they did that, because it's like there's ways to get around that. They could have kept him off TV for a week or so, whatever the case may be. But
I'm coming back to go get my charger.
I thought he got injured, because I saw some clips of like after the attack that he was kind of like walking around like a little bit. So I don't know if maybe it could be he was actually already hurting. Who knows? I mean, we're never really gonna know. But
it was. I mean, he didn't lift his when they were in the ring raising their hands. He didn't lift his left hand. So
and apparently there was a photo that was going around social media that he took a photo with a fan. His arm wasn't a sling. For some reason, that photo has like disappeared from.
Yeah, I think I did see that one.
But so there was that speculation that he was hurt. But it's just like
I'm just happy that this finally happened.
You wanted Seth to get hurt?
No, not Seth. I'm talking about the heel turns. No. Seth's great. And back to kind of what Dan was saying, I didn't really get to speak on it, but I was like, it is true that Seth has been the one to carry, things for the company many times, and either people get like, oh, this is getting stale or this and this and that, but it's just like the man is very reliable. He's always ready to take the ball and, do what he can do. And he,
it's not being appreciated.
Exactly. And I even think back to like earlier on when, after he split from the Shield, I'm like, he was still, if you even look at like the move set he was doing back then, obviously, time has gone by. He's still not doing the same thing, but he's still put on high caliber matches. And he has rivalries and opponents with everybody, so he's somebody who has definitely done it all and has also reinvented himself as well to keep being in that spot as well. But I thought, like Dan said a little bit, like the vision, initially was cool. I think I wanted more in terms of like just like dominance, like let's get. I don't know why. For me, it's like the goal should always be gold, and why is it not that anymore with these?
Four Horsemen did that. The NWO did that. D-Generation X did that.
It's like the last one. We spoke about this recently. Like Judgment Day has all the gold, and yet they're not the main focal point of Raw. And it's like
they were for a while though.
They were for a while. They were. But that was also at times when they didn't even have anything either.
Yeah.
But they also they've held all of it. You
it's a title, tag team title,
Dom now. But it's like that's what all these groups should be. Kind of like what we saw with the new what's Solo's group called? My Family Tree, MFT.
Yes.
Their new look and everything. It's like they should be going for all the gold, and that should be kind of the goal. But I'm also happy that this is also a time when I think everybody's question was like, when are we going to get that Braun Breaker breakout moment? When is he going to get that Batista moment or Randy moment? Like,
I feel like it happened too fast, but maybe because
I don't think so. I think they could have built on. Yeah, they probably could have hinted at it more, but I felt at the second he said, "I did this on my," you immediately saw Braun like, "What?"
I'm just
like a Spanish, like "Como que?" Like what?
Yeah. I'm gonna just say this: since his debut on NXT 2.0, Braun Breaker has always been ready. Even though as much shit as we talk about NXT 2.0 and how bad it was, I mean, like I said, there were some gems that come out of it. He was the number one gem, and like the first match he had with LA Knight, you could just tell that, like, based upon his pedigree, the family history, that like, okay, this guy, he has it, and when he finally puts it all together, it's going to be scary. And right now, he right now, I don't know if it's 100% complete, but he's putting it all together now to the point where. If Braun Breaker won the world title right now, it's believable. Like you can
he did hold with the title.
Fast, but still, Braun Breaker as a top guy now. I'm with it.
He did,
and it's funny because he's a heel right now that people are behind. Every time he comes up, people are barking. And it's not like we hate. It's not like we hate you because you're just a heel or whatever. It's like, no, we know you're a beast and you can take people out.
It's not one of these things like he's a Nepo baby. Like you're only here because of your pops and your uncle.
Yeah, no, he's paid his dues and
he's got his own lane. He's got his own thing.
He even said it before. He's like, I chose not to take that name. He's like, I chose something else.
Which I thought was a wrong move. I thought he should have been Steiner. Have the name, carry the lineage, all that.
I like the name Breaker though. Breaker,
it's working. I didn't like it at first, but it works. It's working right now.
I got a question for everybody. What do y'all think about LA Knight's improvement lately? The past 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, he kind of went away. He came back, and boom! All of a sudden, he's there, and he's not backing down from anybody. So. That's why
I think he's a main fixture on Monday Night Raw right now.
Yeah.
Because he kind of came over, and that's from SmackDown, and he was kind of lost a little bit. They kind of put him in this thing with Seth a little bit, and he's kind of just been going around. But over the past month or so, he's been getting more consistent. He's getting these opportunities to be in big time matches, as we saw. I guess we can talk about it now with the triple threat match with Jey Uso and CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's getting these moments. He's in these matches, right? Like, and that's always a good sign to be in these moments, kind of like a Dominic Mysterio, kind of like these other guys that have been in the main event on Raw. He's getting that moment. It's not just Jey Uso. It's not just Punk. It's not just Seth. It's not just Gunther. You know what I mean? It's a different element that he's able to come in and play that part. So I think he's been great.
Yeah,
I think he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Breaking news: Seth Rollins reportedly to undergo surgery on shoulder injury, ASAP, out indefinitely.
Damn it!
And who's reporting that?
This is on Bleacher Report.
This is Bleacher Report? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Yeah, undergo shoulder as soon as possible. The exact damage and length of time he'll be out is currently unknown, but it will at least be several months. WWE now has to make a decision on what to do with the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, that sucks.
Wait! It's perfect. Survivor Series, War Games, tournament.
Wait, how does that? Oh, you mean like a tournament and then
Dudley Games? Yes. Wait.
Honestly,
Seth
a tournament would be great
I'm just gonna say,
because
Seth
you could do
Rollins,
a huge tournament.
Seth Rollins, I don't want you to be injured. This sucks. I don't want you to be injured. I'm just gonna say that. But in the grand scheme of things, having a tournament or even a mini tournament, it can be an 8-man tournament. It doesn't have to be 16. You can have people come back. Oh my God. This opens the door for a lot of things.
This is how we get AJ back in the title. Oh,
yeah. The only thing about this that's kind of funny is just that with War Games coming up, they're already like sold out like over 30,000 tickets for the show, and War Games was going to be based upon the vision against whatever combination of baby faces they've been going after for the last 3 months.
I don't think it's going to be the vision. I think it's going to be a SmackDown thing. I think it's going to be MFT versus
Wyatt Six.
Mm-hmm. Either Wyatt, I don't think Wyatt. Maybe, yeah, maybe. But that would only be 4 people. How many is it in each group? Is it 4? Is it 4?
If they are smart, this is the women's War Games match is the Judgment Day, Raquel, Roxanne, Asuka, Kyrie versus Rhea, Io, Bailey, and Lyra.
Yeah.
So the women's War Games match is not even going to be a factor into it. It's just the men's one. I know some people speculating and saying, okay, this is the perfect time to bring Brock Lesnar back now. And for War Games, I mean now, like I said, you're already sold 30,000 tickets now.
He can have a match at Survivor Series, but I don't see him in the War Games match.
Brock Lesnar, John Cena in War Games. Just do it.
Just give him a damn Hell in a Cell match or something. I don't know.
I just think Brock Lesnar
last date, so you got to do something.
I just think Brock Lesnar is going to break the cage. That's my. I don't know if they can contain him in that. I don't know, but this is a monkey wrench into a lot of things here. We'll see how they recover from this.
One quick thing, and I know we haven't really discussed the SmackDown in a while, but did anybody notice? And we got the return of Shinsuke, but did anybody notice that a lot of people have been using their old music again?
Yes,
we got the Street Profits using their you just got this new music and you're already going back. Shinsuke's gone back to his own music, which I love. I don't care. I will always love that intro song. And then even on Monday, we got Kyrie with her. With her music back. So I'm like, what is going on where everybody's just using their OG music now?
Because it's better.
Yeah. Not only that, it's better, but apparently there's a report out that Def Rebel's contract with WWE is coming up now. And with all the bitching and complaining on social media about the theme music they've been putting out, I wouldn't be too surprised if WWE just let them go and they just hired somebody else.
They're like, we're just gonna nix all this new music.
What they need to do is rehire Jim Johnston. That's what they need to do. If Jim Johnston is still interested in doing music with WWE at this point, Rehire that man immediately, please.
I'm not gonna lie. I did like at least the Street Profits new song. I thought it was actually catchy and went with their whole. It kind of changed from the whole. I'm like, you guys don't got to bring back the solo cups and all that stuff, please. I'm like, come on.
Nah, they don't need to do that.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't. But it still just felt like we went backwards, and I'm like, okay, but and they didn't even follow up on that loss, which was another. At this point, there's no point in even splitting them up anymore.
I don't know what they're doing. It's so stop and go.
But they got the tag team title match. They did lose
again.
We'll see what happens this coming Friday on SmackDown to see if they actually tell that story. Yeah, man, like I said, 2 hours.
It's taking way too long, and it's gonna be watch it be a damn theory. I can't remember his name.
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller split. Well, it's just like we don't even see it. Oh yeah, they're not together no more.
I still don't think they should have broke that tag team up. But,
no, that should have been on screen.
They should have gave them a little bit more to do. But let's get back to Raw here. What did we think about CM Punk becoming the new? Well, I guess he's facing vacant. Winning that match to become the new number one contender. I mean.
Or is this how CM Punk gets the title because he became number one contender? Now he automatically gets the title.
They just give him the title.
Mm-hmm. Give it to him.
Okay, so
Eric Bischoff, the Triple H, just give him the title.
I think what they should do, because I think the next event they have coming up is Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
That's where they should do a tournament. Just make that whole 2 hours just a tournament, and the winner faces CM Punk.
Main event is what you're saying.
And the winner of the tournament faces CM Punk for the title. That's what they should do. Just turn Saturday night's main event into just a straight tournament.
Do a giant gauntlet tournament.
I hate those.
Yeah, that too.
I remember they did that to Shinsuke, and I was sick. That was pandemic when he beat 6 people and then had to face Roman Reigns. I'm like,
yeah.
No. But CM Punk picking up that win, I thought was great. I think we were heading towards a CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match at Survivor Series or a Saturday night's main event or whatever the case may be. But now that's pretty much gone. So we'll see what happens with that. Dominic Mysterio might have been the MVP of Raw. He has been fantastic.
I love Dom.
He has been fantastic.
Yeah.
He's taken this Eddie thing to a new level. He's actually great in the ring, as well too. So him and Penta are going at it, and then Rusev came out. But what did you guys think about Dom retaining?
I think Dom's fantastic. I don't think he needs the Judgment Day. I don't think he needs Morgan. I think at this point he's going to cut him loose and let him do his own thing. I think he's proven himself week after week. He's got 2 titles. What else does he need to be taken seriously? The crowd's starting to get behind him a little bit. He doesn't know how to handle that yet exactly. He's not used to hearing thousands of people chant his name. I imagine that would be a little bit surprising to anybody. To go from the most hated guy in wrestling to the fan favorite. And that's kind of what's happening here. We're seeing it right before our eyes. And the promotion has taken adequate time, I think, in telling the story of why he's best luchador in the business. And, it's like he's going to face his father at this point. And I don't want to see that. I want to see he and his dad work things out, get back together. I've had turmoil with my dad in real life, and we have finally ironed out our issues after years of being separate. And I think every father and son should stand as a unit together. So that's what I'm hoping the outcome of that story is.
In luchador history, that has always been the lineage. Like, it's usually the student versus the pupil. And they just always go at it. And Rey Mysterio was his teacher and stuff like that. So I think, and especially this is what I've been pitching for the past couple months. I want to see Dom faces Rey Mysterio in San Diego. They're from San Diego. I think it will be a good close for Rey Mysterio's career, or whatever the case may be, if that's going to be his last match or whatever the case may be. All the stuff with AAA, like Rey Mysterio has been down there in AAA, that he's been on screen. So we'll see what happens with that. But to put the timekeeper's hammer into his knee pad and use the 619, I thought was a great touch.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's retaining. He's actually continuing to build his character. Like he's finding a way to be resourceful even without the Judgment Day. I think that's another thing that's sticking out as well as these other things. We also got the Bailey snap against the Judgment Day with Lyra slapping her. What did you guys? I don't know where WWE's going with this anymore.
I don't know either.
I understand they're trying to play this two personality thing, and she gets slapped into things.
She's basically a Bailey Hulk.
yeah. Like I don't know.
I'd like to see her go one way or the other and make up her mind.
Yeah. Either be a heel or be a babyface. Or
because when she was first doing it, it was like she was more flipping out at Lyra. So it's like, like, can I actually trust you? But now it's turning like, hey, give me that rage so we can actually win. Which I'm like, I guess kind of makes sense, but it's like, how are we gonna make this realistic? I guess.
I guarantee you guys, they're gonna keep doing what they did on Monday Night Raw for at least another month until they actually get a tag team title match. They'll lose, and then that's when you're finally gonna get the heel Bailey finally just snapping and saying, "I'm done with Lyra." That's exactly what they're gonna do. That's how they always do it with these. And
we all talked about this last time I was on the show about the mental illness thing and how it seems to be going a little bit too long. And let's get to the bottom of the thing to bring the.
It doesn't work for this character, in my opinion. It just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But it's entertaining, at least in moments in those backstage segments and stuff like that. So that's entertaining. But other than that, it's just like, what are you guys doing with this thing? I can't think of anything else that happened on Raw.
I did want to say one. I thought, just going back to Dom a little bit, one spot that I thought was just hilarious was him like just seeing Rusev in backstage. He was just like. Like, I thought that character work right there was just like perfect, and I'm like,
the cowardly heel.
Yeah, it's just like it's just so good, and it works so well with him, and that's why like the people love them as much as people want to give Dom shit. He's like a lovable heel right now.
Yeah,
but God damn it, this damn Judgment Day needs to blow up, please.
They need
Morgan is coming, man.
Why? What? Honestly, they don't even
because you can't officially break them up until she's there. She factors into the story too much. That's why they put it on pause.
But that story's not even running anymore. There's no more hints of
because she's not there.
No, there's no more hints of him.
I think we might get Liv Morgan back because Roxanne's facing Stephanie.
Yeah.
If there's any better way to screw her out of a title match or anything like that.
But look at the last month. There's when she first was here was the whole why don't you go help Dom? Why don't you go do this? Like they were putting them together in many occasions, and that hasn't happened in like a month and a half.
Yeah, it hasn't made sense.
No.
But they're gonna try to finish it. That will do it for Raw notes. Let's get into AEW Wrestle Dream, which is going to take place this weekend. In St. Louis, Missouri, Randy Orton stomping grounds on October 18th. Brian, I believe you have the card up. Lots of matches happening. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so we're recording this episode on a Tuesday, October 14th. So Dynamite will not air till tomorrow night. So there's 8 matches on the card. So there's a good chance that by the pay-per-view, there probably will be at least 11 or 12 because that's typically the So to the 8 matches that have been announced, we got Darby facing Moxley and an I Quit match, and I'm just hoping and praying that this is the end all be all. Not the Death Rider storyline, because after what Daniel you had said when we covered All Out in regards to me expressing the frustration with this storyline continuing on, I do feel like, as far as Darby and Mox goes, that needs to come to an end. But the fact that the Death Riders, you just had Pat come back, you just added Daniel Garcia, that story between that group that is going to continue on. But as far as Darby and Moxley goes, it's just like with the coffin match that they had it All Out, to Moxley getting set on fire, to the segment that they had on Dynamite where Darby had a Molotov cocktail about to light it and throw it, and the security tackled him to the ground. My whole thing is like, You guys have already upped the ante to the point where it's just like somebody needs to get shot or stabbed now. Like, what exactly are you guys going to do now in an I Quit match? Because you see what Darby Allin was.
Brian, don't forget that Darby dragged one of the Death Riders across pavement.
Oh, yes. Like, what else can you do now? It's really going to be extreme. Like, what else can you do?
They need Arn Anderson to come back out and give that promo he gave to Cody.
That was TV.
This is the thing. They're going to push each other to the limits. They're going to do some crazy, gnarly stuff. What Lewis you saw at TNA is nothing compared to what they're going to do in the past. Didn't Darby Allin try to bring a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, exactly. A Molotov cocktail. He was going to light it and throw it, and the security tackled him to the ground.
How did that get green lit?
Because he didn't actually throw it, Dan.
Well, I tweeted on that. I said, guys, I'm more than ready to see Darby win or quit. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, but I'd like to see a change in the whole storyline.
I feel like he needs to win it. He needs a win.
And that's the thing. Both of these guys have been through such hell in AEW and separate feuds that's the only intriguing part of this match, because you really can't picture either one of them quitting unless you go to the very, very extreme, which I don't even know what that is between these guys anymore, because they've already gone to the extreme so many fucking times. So that's the only intrigue.
What's somebody bringing a damn helicopter or something at some point?
Yeah, something like I don't know what they're gonna do to up the ante. It's gonna be interesting. And then we got Hangman Adam Page defending the AEW title against Samoa Joe. A match that kind of came together so randomly. I mean, it literally was they were in a trios match together. After the trios match was over, Hangman Adam Page goes to hand
Joe
Samoa
on that. I like the Hangman, but I think Joe's been down the road more, and he's going to prevail in this thing. I think he's going to walk away as champion.
Yeah, but I feel like the story for this match could have been thrown together a lot better. The fact that they're only having a title match because Hangman handed him his title back, and the way he handed it back to him, and kind of thought he was Samoa Joe thought he was upstaging him. I think Hangman may have stolen the tag in that trios match as well to get the win, and then it led to Samoa Joe saying, "Well, you never beat me." Mm-hmm. And then they had a promo segment on Dynamite where Samoa Joe kind of said that, like, you know, since I've been trios champion, I've kind of lost my main focus of being world champion. So the promo he cut was your classic Samoa Joe, you know, being serious, being direct, you know, kind of stating his reason. So it kind of saved it, but at the same time, it kind of was just thrown together randomly. You kind of know Hangman's gonna come out on top because you know, Hangman's only been champion for so long, and it's just like the story that they told of him leading up to him winning the title, and everything that they've done since, you know, hasn't been that great. He can't lose it after 2 months.
He can't lose it after 2 months.
Exactly, like literally. Okay, and then we got Chris Statlander, who just won the title at All Out, defending against Tony Storm. The only thing I can say about this is that the segments that they've had together have been just funny. Like on Collision, they had a promo in the ring where they were both like lying down next to each other. And then they had another promo on Collision backstage where they were yelling at each other, and then Tony Storm kind of took her shirt off randomly. Like, I mean, it's your typical match. And Tony lost the title, now she wants it back. You know, it looks like Statlander might come out on top. I don't know where they're gonna go with Tony Storm afterwards. But it's definitely going to be interesting as far as that goes.
That made some Tony Storm.
Yeah, we all love some. Tony Storm.
I just think she's phenomenal. She's been there. She's not backed away from anybody either, and that's what I look for in his up and coming. And I think she's going to be there for a minute.
All right. Okay, now this next match, it kind of annoyed the hell out of me. The booking for it has annoyed the hell out of me. You got the newly reformed Jurassic Express facing the Bucks. It's going to be a tag team match for one of Tony Khan's specialties, a tag team match for $500,000. I don't understand why, but apparently so we saw All Out. Jurassic Express came back together, but we still don't understand why the fuck Jack Perry is shooting with the Young Bucks again. Because apparently, the last time we saw Jack Perry, like before he came back, him and the Bucks were connected, and like they were on the same side. I guess apparently, according to Taz, if you watch Being the Elite, the Young Bucks' YouTube show, you would know that like there was an incident between them. How many fucking people watch Being the Elite though at this point?
I didn't even think that was still going on.
See,
That's
neither did I.
That's not going to reach my rotation.
I think the Bucks don't be in WWE right now. I don't understand why they're still hanging out in AEW as good as they are. They could just sell anything. They can make another hate them and all in between.
Not anymore.
You know, I mean, I know it's who's paying at the time, but I think they don't be in WWE right this minute.
Yeah, but it's just like you could have told, like, make it make sense. Like, just take the clips from Being the Elite and just air them on Dynamite to just so we know, like, okay, this is how they broke up. They still haven't even told us that story yet. I can only hope that they're gonna do it on Dynamite tomorrow night. But again, $500,000. Why?
Why the money?
Why? Like these dudes don't have like fucking 8-figure contracts already.
Hey, everybody needs a bonus, Brian.
Yeah. Okay, then we got Kyle Fletcher. He's defending the TNT title against Mark Briscoe. The only thing I can say about this match is that this should not be Kyle Fletcher's match. I mean, Kyle Fletcher should be facing Kenny Omega. That's who he should be facing.
I think this is gearing up to have an MJF come back. Right? Is that what we're thinking? Like he's going to screw him out of the title?
I mean, MJF's only been gone.
I think Mark's the greatest senior wrestler going today. He's proven himself over and over again, and he shouldn't have to after his 13 world title wins. But here we are, and he's trying to do it again. Kyle Fletcher's going to be there for a good little while. Kyle Fletcher's in phenomenal shape, but I'm hoping to see Mark Briscoe take.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. I really do want to see like Mark Briscoe get another singles title. I don't count him winning the Ring of Honor World title because a lot of people don't even realize Ring of Honor is still
who's the Ring of Honor champ right now?
I mean,
Bandito.
I mean, he won the title. He won the ROH title when it still had some prestige. Like he won it at a valid time. He won it at a valid time.
Okay, and speaking of Bandito, him and Brody King are defending the tag team titles against Okada and Takeshita. Takeshita, who just won, like we talked about, he just won the IWGP World Heavyweight title, and obviously, they've been teasing this whole feud between him and Okada for a number of months. Eventually, when that happens, that match is going to be a banger. But this match might actually be the beginning of that feud because I really don't see them winning the tag team titles at this point. I mean, both of them being the great single wrestlers that they are. But like I said, they've kind of been telling that story for a number of weeks now that there's obviously tension between them.
That's what Mark did. He had the thumbtack match and took about 2 weeks off.
Oh, yeah. MJF.
and who could blame him?
Yeah. You're just saying that, yeah. And then I see here on the card, we have Jamie Hayter against Tekla. I mean, that feud has pretty much been Tekla's feud since she debuted in the company. When she debuted, she took out Jamie Hayter. So finally, they're gonna have that one-on-one match. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, I've been sold on Tekla since her first debut match, so I'm hoping that she comes out on top here. And then this last match, I didn't even realize that this match was announced. And if this is gonna be an actual match, I need to understand why. So it's gonna be the Hurt Syndicate against the Demand again in another trios match, which apparently is going to be a regular trios match. What sense does that make? They already have one regular trios match. Then they had the street fight last week on Dynamite. So what the hell is the point of them having another regular ass trios match? I guess it's the third match, but if you just had a street fight as your second match, why would the third match need to be just a regular trios match? That doesn't make sense to me.
Who is the Hurt Syndicate fighting?
The Demand, which is Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Again,
Yeah.
So if that was the case, then the third match should have been the street fight, and the second match should have been the regular trio.
To introduce a fourth member, That's why.
Hopefully.
Oh, I can only hope. Yeah, I hope that's the case.
That's why.
Okay, so that's the card for AEW Wrestle Dream so far. Like I said, we're recording this on a Tuesday. By the end of the end of the week or towards the pay-per-view, they probably will have like 11 or 12 matches. And I'm just gonna bring up this one more concern that I have. A match that hasn't been announced that should have already been announced. You brought back Andrade, which was huge on that Dynamite, that 6-year Dynamite show, because it really does show that having AEW around is a good thing. That way, talent always has somewhere to go, always has somewhere to make money. You bring him back, he attacks Kenny Omega, and he hasn't been seen since. Last week on Dynamite, wasn't even mentioned. Don Callis' family, they had promo segments, wasn't even mentioned.
I've been looking at my hat, seen.
Yeah. Like, my whole thing is, like, even if he's not on the show, you could have at least shown highlights of him attacking Kenny Omega to remind people that, like, he's back. They didn't do that. On Collision, they had a segment where Don Callis was celebrating his 62nd birthday. No mention of Andrade. Andrade wasn't even in the segment.
I actually saw Andrade. He's supposed to be going up to Maine for this New England wrestling. I forgot the name of it. He's going to be in Maine doing a show in Maine or something.
What happened to the thing with him and MJF? Weren't they going to meet at some promotion?
Yeah. Him and MJF were going at each other on social media, but I don't think there was nothing much of it. I think they were just shooting the shit at each other because they're with the same company now. Yeah. But again, and if the reason why they're not having the match is because Kenny Omega isn't 100% or he isn't ready to go, then there was no reason to bring Kenny Omega back at all. Because literally, he was taken out by Kyle Fletcher. If he wasn't ready to come back, then you shouldn't have had him perform on that show of Dynamite, and they should just kept him out and kept the injury angle going. What was the point of bringing him back to have Andrade take him out if you weren't going to have the match at the upcoming pay-per-view? Like, I didn't understand that. But
it's AEW, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is AEW. Like I said, there's 8 matches announced. By Saturday, they'll probably be at 12 or 13. And we're just gonna enjoy the in-ring action, and that's all you can say about AEW.
We'll see what happens this weekend with AEW's Wrestle Dream.
It's part of my weekly job on Wrestling Spotlight, guys. As an analysis, I get to watch matches from a whole different viewpoint, and sometimes I just shake my noggin and go, "What in the world is the point of this or that?" So it's really agreed upon that sometimes they just throw something in there to burn the time up or something.
It's at least but there's ways to burn the time though, with, as Brian suggested, promos, vignettes, stuff like that. There's ways to burn it, and it just seems like they haven't put it all together. But we'll see what happens with AEW Wrestle Dream. We'll see what happens with the SmackDown following up. We'll see Cody and Tiffany Stratton return to SmackDown. Is that going to be in Australia? Does anybody know? I don't know.
Nah.
Or they coming back stateside?
Monday Night Raw. That was the last show in Australia.
Okay.
I think that's going to be home.
No, yeah, that's for true. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. We'll see what happens with SmackDown and Raw. We'll have Sonny back next week to go over Raw, so that will be awesome. Bringing in Sonny Cain from Wrestling Spotlight. Thank you again for joining us, Sonny. As always, thank you for your contributions. And don't forget to follow Ring Takes. It's on Instagram, TikTok, and X. We've been spearheading it up over there. And always remember, people, to kick out on 2. And until next time.